I'm talking about vaginal health. Did you know that only 5% of women would put it at the top of their list of everyday health priorities, well behind dental, skin and digestive health? So considering this lack of attention then, it's not surprising that Regain Your Balance survey from Balance Active Vaginal Gel found that over half of women don't know what the most common vaginal infection is. In fact, it's bacterial vaginosis, or BV for short, and experts believe that 1 in 3 women will at some point develop it in their life. With me to talk about BV and explain a little bit more is Dr. Dawn Harper from the TV show Embarrassing Illnesses. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
So what is bacterial vaginosis?
BV is basically caused by an imbalance of the bacteria in our vagina. It may surprise some women to know that our vaginas are literally teeming with bugs, good bugs that keep everything healthy and balanced. And the majority of those bugs, when our vaginas are well, are lactic acid producing bacteria. In certain circumstances, the natural acidity of the vagina becomes unbalanced, and in those circumstances, some of the bad bugs can then proliferate and they cause problems, one of which can be BV. And what that does is it causes a discharge and a soreness and irritation. And a lot of women will actually confuse that with thrush, because interestingly, everyone has heard about thrush, very few people have heard about BV. In fact, BV is twice as common as thrush, and 1 in 3 women in Britain will get BV at some time. But most women, with their first attack, will assume it's thrush and try and treat it as thrush. Probably the one indicator that might give you a warning sign that it's not thrush and it's something else is that the discharge of BV tends to be thinner and a little bit grey in colour rather than the thicker creamy coloured discharge of thrush. But if your vagina starts to become a little more alkaline, because the normal pH of the vagina is around 4, it's quite acidic. Now interestingly, things like soaps and bubble baths, even semen, are relatively alkaline. So if you've got a bit of a fishy discharge, you've got BV, the most natural thing in the world for any woman to do is to wash, and wash for England, because you feel dirty. And in fact, sadly, what you're probably doing is you're washing out all the good bugs, you're making your vagina slightly more alkaline, and the bugs that then cause BV are having a party. So you're actually making the problem worse. The other thing is, if you are having unprotected sex, semen is slightly alkaline. That can cause a problem, and in that instance I do know that I do see ladies who come in having had unprotected sex and they're concerned because they've developed this discharge. They think it's an STI, and it's not, it's BV.
Now, can BV cause long-term problems, either physically or emotionally?
BV can certainly cause emotional problems. I mean, let's face it, what woman who is aware of a fishy odour down below doesn't feel pretty horrible? And that can be upsetting. It knocks your self-esteem. It can even leave you feeling quite depressed, actually. And it certainly has a knock